Is it working? Okay. I'm not even going to bother explaining that to you guys. All right, so I just watched Spencer the other day, and let's just get right into it. Kristen Stewart, yes. Whatever your question is, yes. Well, Kristen Stewart kind of bodied this role, if we're being honest. Kind of killed it, as we would expect from what we've been hearing about it. She really killed that shit. I usually wait until after I rate the movie to talk about Oscars, but let's just talk about Oscars. Will she get nominated? I think it's yes. I do still kind of hesitate to say really almost anything is a lock. It has to be like a Dune and visual effects type lock for me to say that. It is about as close as you could get to a lock as you can imagine. Probably is a lock. Can she win? I have no clue. One thing I gotta say, if I can brag about myself for a second, one thing that I do really love about myself in terms of the Oscar predictions, I rarely say shit is a done deal, okay? I rarely say, I rarely speak in definitive terms, okay? If anyone is saying Kristen Stewart is 100% winning, done deal, it is over, even if it ends up happening, you should just like send them like the middle finger emoji or like do something like that. Just insult them. If they say Kristen Stewart is definitely not happening, do the same thing. The fact is we don't know, and honestly it's hard to get a read out of it because Jessica Chastain, once again, Chastain is still like one of the baitiest performances I've ever seen. And she is great in that. Kristen Stewart is just also absolutely amazing. If either of those two win, and some of the other contenders I don't know yet, I am actually seeing Being the Ricardos pretty soon, so I guess I'll know. And House of Gucci, actually. But if either Kristen Stewart or Jessica Chastain won, that would be a hell of a Best Actress winner. Okay, I would have zero complaints about either of those two winning. And I don't want to get too far into Oscars because I kind of talk about that in other videos and predictions. But the one thing that Kristen Stewart has that Jessica Chastain doesn't is Spencer overall is much stronger in the Oscar pool. And we will talk about that later. That Oscar talk I'll save till after I get my rating for the movie. But in terms of Kristen Stewart, she is fantastic in this movie. The accent is pretty good, I think. I'm not an expert on accents, but I think it was pretty good. It wasn't distracting at all. And she portrays what the movie is going for kind of perfectly. This movie kind of worked on me. I liked it much more than I thought I would. I thought I would like it, but it worked. A very deserving Best Actress winner if she does go on to win. But in terms of an Oscar nomination coming, it's probably coming. All right? And I can hear the cheers of Kristen Stewart stands all over. Let's talk about Spencer the movie. As I said, this movie kind of worked on me. This movie is absolutely suffocating. It is a suffocating movie. Kind of sad. Almost depressing. Which I like because I am those things inside. There are certain scenes where she's just riddled with anxiety and fear. And I felt myself like, not to be like overly dramatic, but I was almost like, God damn, it's kind of hard to breathe in here. Not on the level of Uncut Gems stress, but honestly kind of close, which is really surprising. I just was not ready for that. And arguably that is the best part of the movie for me. The way it makes you feel exactly what the movie's trying to make you feel. Well, fucking mission accomplished, bitch. I mean, you were just watching someone just be completely suffocated and controlled, and you can just see how badly she wants to break free, but she can't, and that fills her with more like anxiety. Oh my God. God damn it. Can't imagine that life. I know nothing about the royal family. Okay. I am like almost the complete polar opposite of the royal family, both in terms of like culture and just status. Basically, I'm a piece of shit. But this one, I know a little bit about the conspiracies, I think, about Princess Diana, which I'm definitely not going to get into. I don't know that much. I just kind of hear about it. Regardless to say, I'm kind of interested now. Okay, so the movie's absolutely suffocating, right? Okay, we established that. In the technical aspect, this movie is damn near flawless. The cinematography, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, coming back. And it looks so good. It looks so good. That part is beautiful. The score, Johnny Greenwood, oh my God. Probably my favorite score of the year in terms of a whole body of work. The score absolutely goes dummy hard. All right, it's so good. The score is so good. I love the score. One of my favorite aspects of the movie. The costumes are great, as you would probably expect with the whole royal family, Princess Diana type shit. Costumes are fantastic. And I thought the editing was great too. Not just because there's certain like montage moments, which yeah is good, but the way it's paced, the decisions to put certain shots and where, which goes in hand with cinematography. There's a lot of shots of there's wide angle shots of Princess Diana kind of walking the fields, but there's a lot where it is really close to her face, almost in like a handheld shaky cam. Perfect. Perfect. Good shit. Yes. So technical aspects are great if you appreciate stuff like that. Now, if you are looking for, just a story, that is where I think some people might struggle a little bit. I haven't seen it that much, but I still have seen Spencer, the word inaccessible, thrown around. And I think the audience score has gone up into the 60s, but it was pretty freaking low earlier when it when it released. So I'll be interested to see how that plays, because Jackie had almost like a similar reception in terms of its trajectory, and then it kind of disappointed at the Oscars. We'll see how that does here. Once again, I really like this movie. There's not a ton of narrative plot, really not. And I know a lot of people struggle with that. I find myself struggling with that in certain movies, because it is just easy to grab onto a narrative and story and just follow it along. This one isn't that much like it, so I guess I could see how people would check out and kind of think it's kind of boring. Not me though. I'm different. I saw Spencer a day ago, so I want to see it kind of how it sits with me in my mind, because then if I change my rating, you guys will see that on Letterboxd. But for now, Spencer, I really fucking liked it. I really liked it. I'm going to give it a solid 4 stars. That is not low, okay? That's not a low grade, all right? I haven't given a lot of movies this year 4 stars. And I might even change it to 4.5. Who fucking knows? Let's talk about Oscars. So I know I went over Spencer, just my little movie rant, kind of quick. We'll talk about Oscars here. Let's start with picture. We'll just get nominated for Best Picture. What are my thoughts? So besides the obvious, no one fucking knows anything. What is my gut feeling? For now, in early November, I will say yes. I will say yes. I did have it in my 10 in my last predictions. And if I did it again right now, I would still have it in that 8, 9, 10 slot. It is far from guaranteed though, because there is still some things I see that kind of deters me from thinking it is a Best Picture nominee, especially in a more competitive year unlike last year. No disrespect. But I still think it fares a good shot. I think it's definitely playing better than a lot of other people think, but once again, the Jackie comparison is not crazy. And there's still no social reactions for House of Gucci, even though it's starting to premiere. Being the Ricardo, same deal. Licorice Pizza is starting to be screened now, starting to get more of those. Haven't heard anything about Don't Look Up. We'll see. Same with Tick Tick Boom, really, too. So there's a lot of movies that can kind of bump this one out. But for now, I would say it gets into Best Picture. Even if it doesn't, though, the fact is Spencer will be in the conversation for Best Picture, and that's a win. Director, I think, has a solid shot. Even if Spencer doesn't get nominated for Best Picture, I still think it has a solid shot. There are some movies where if it doesn't get in Best Picture, director is done. And there's others where if their movie doesn't get into Best Picture, director oddly is still kind of there. And I think Pablo Larraín could do that there. He's definitely in the conversation. I don't have him in my top 5, but he is pretty fucking close. So in the conversation. Screenplay, I don't know. It's in the top 10. Sure. Cinematography is such a stacked category this year that I actually don't have this one in, which kind of breaks my heart because I think it's beautiful. It is so close though. It's close. We'll have to see how some of these other movies play out. We'll still have to see. Regardless, once again, in the conversation, potential nom for sure. Score, getting in. It's got to. If it doesn't, I will break my new MacBook. It has to get in. It's so good. It would probably, like I said, it's my favorite score of the year so far. I haven't heard some of the other shit, but I like it more than Dune. I like the score of here more than Dune, and I really like the Dune score, but whatever. That's that. Costumes, that's obviously getting in, guys. That's obviously getting in. Will it win? I don't know. It is a more contemporary costume versus something like Gucci, which will be the same type of deal, but also Cruella, man. Don't sleep on Cruella, a movie about costumes with the most extravagant costumes. I'm just saying, don't sleep on Cruella just because it's Cruella. I am a Cruella stan. Makeup and hair, to be honest, I don't really see that one. It's just, I don't know. I don't see it. And then obviously actress. I don't think there's anyone else really in terms of the acting categories. No disrespect to my queen Sally Hawkins. So in terms of potential nominations that are really in the talk or somewhat locks, picture, director, actress. Well, let's take screenplay off just for a second. Cinematography, it's in the conversation. Costumes, yes. Score, yes. That's 6. With the screenplay, possibly 7. I don't think now it'll hit or miss with those 7. But regardless, the fact that it's in the conversation, that's a win. Spencer, very good movie. Hope you guys watch it. Kristen Stewart is fantastic. It kind of feels like one of those best actress winners though. It's kind of the right time, the right age from, the trends from the Academy. Watch out for that. How's Robert Pattinson doing?